Hello, welcome back to Erica's Little Welsh Garden. Today we are down the allotment. It's the 28th of March. Spring is here and it's a glorious day. As you can see, if you watched my last update down at the allotment, not a lot has changed. I've still got the compost that I bought in on top of the cardboard and I've not spread it out. The reason I didn't do that was I didn't want to get it out on the ground and then have weeds start growing in it before I was ready to grow stuff. So today, really exciting day. I'm going to get my first onions out into the ground today. I'm going to be emptying all of the compost from this top bed here, and we're going to get 2 rows of onions. The onions that I'm growing this year, I've already started off. They are Carmen and another one, I've forgotten the name of it now, so I'll put it on the screen. But we've got a white and a purple onion that's going to be going in the top here. And I'm also going to be putting a row of carrots down the middle. So it'd be really interesting to see how they do. But also today I am planning on starting to sort out this bed at the very bottom of the plot. It's a little bit overgrown and I haven't really kind of touched it this last year. So it'd be really nice to get that ready and weed free. So that's available for plants as soon as I'm ready to get it planted. There is something so satisfying about putting compost out on a bed. Wow, look at this. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get a rake it out, and it will be ready for the onions. If you've never gardened with cardboard before, you might be looking at this wondering what's going to happen to the roots of the onions as soon as they get into the ground and want to get through there. But actually, as soon as that cardboard is in contact both underneath and above with the soil, it starts breaking down really quickly. And as soon as the roots actually need to get down, it will be broken down enough that they can just push through it really easily. However, an onion is pretty shallow rooted, to be honest. So actually, it wouldn't matter too much, but the carrots that we're going to be putting in will definitely be able to get through that layer as soon as they need to. And as quick as that, we are now ready to plant up this bed, and I'm so excited to see how it does this year. The compost I've used is actually a manure-based compost, which I haven't used before, so it'd be really interesting to see how it does, but also it'd be really interesting to see how those carrots do down the middle, because carrots notoriously don't like really rich soils, and quite often one year you'd manure the bed and use it for a really hungry crop, and then the next year you wouldn't use any fertilizer, and so your carrots in there. So we'll see how they do, but I think the onions are going to absolutely love it in here. So before I plant these out, I'm just going to give them a really quick water just to help their roots come apart really easily and minimize the damage. Oh, well, that wasn't planned. So just to make sure I plant my onions in a straight row, I'm just going to use a row marker here and this bright pink string. If I don't use one of these, I end up doing a completely wonky line. I'm just using some nylon diving string, I think. I found it in my husband's diving equipment, so I commandeered it, but you'd probably, if you're going to use something like this, a kind of garden string would be absolutely fine. So when it comes to taking these out, you can be pretty rough with onions. They've got a really good strong root system, and as you can see, that little one there has got quite a lot of roots. They're really fibrous, but if you snap some of them off, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to just bury them fairly deep so that just the very top of the onion is sticking out. Wow, look at that one. I can't wait to see how well these grow this year and how good a harvest I get. Also, I'm doing this by eye, so just like when I actually put these in the trays in the first place, I might get to the bottom and have some left over or not enough. So we'll see. I used to be very regimented when it came to gardening and measure everything, and to be honest, I don't really have the time for that anymore, and what's the fun in that? Just get on and do it. Sometimes we worry too much about doing everything right, and at the end of the day, plants want to grow, and they will, as long as they've got, you know, the right nutrients and water, so who cares? I usually just plant my onions straight into the ground like this in October without starting them off, but this way actually isn't too bad because there's some in here that haven't actually started to grow, so I always end up with some gaps. Right, that's the first row done, and we're not too wonky. I have deviated from the line a little bit up there, but I'm pretty happy with that, and there's only about 5 that I've not planted, but they're the ones that either haven't started greening up at the top or are very much smaller, so I'm okay with sacrificing those ones. Now let's do the next row. And there we go, the second row is done. Looking at the line, I've only deviated from it slightly, so definitely does help me using one of these plumb lines. The compost is actually really moist, but what I'm going to do is sow the carrots down the middle, and then I'm going to give it a really good water just to help kind of bed the compost in and make sure the roots have a really good contact with the soil. And again, just like with the onions, I'm going to use a line just to mark out roughly the middle. The 2 varieties of carrots that I'm going to be sowing today are Camilla F1 and Early Nance 2. They're both varieties that can be sown at this time of year, but I think the Camilla F1 could have been done quite a bit earlier. But the reason I'm sowing these varieties is because I had them in my seed collection. They're from magazines and they need using up. So if you've got any advice about Early Nance 2 or Camilla F1, let me know. I'm always interested to hear advice from other growers. Carrots can be a bit of a pain when it comes to germinating because they take a little bit longer than a kind of usual bigger seed. I think it's around about 14 days that they take to germinate. So if you don't keep the area moist, they don't germinate very well. So it's really important that you just keep on watering. But at this time of year, hopefully, they shouldn't dry out too quickly. Another great tip with carrots is that you can actually grow them along with radish seeds because radishes grow much quicker, well, germinate much quicker, so they help mark your row so you know where you've sown them. All right, that's the Camilla done. I probably just could have used the Early Nance in this row because I've got quite a few seeds left over. So all I'm going to do now is just gently cover the seeds with a bit of compost. And there we have it. The first bed is planted up and ready for watering. I'm just going to make sure I really thoroughly wet the compost in the middle where those carrot seeds are. I'm so excited that I've got that first bed planted up. I think what I'm going to do is just make sure I pop up every single day now until those carrots germinate, and just make sure that they're not drying out too much and they get the best chance. With the remainder of the onions that I've got here, they're pretty small and, you know, don't look very good. So I think I'm just going to put these straight in the compost heap Otherwise I end up thinking I'll put them somewhere and they just get messy. So this year I'm definitely going to try and be much tidier as a gardener. I say I'm going to try and be much tidier, and then I bring you to the messiest part of the allotment. We've got a manure delivery in a couple of weeks now, so I think what I'm going to do with this messy area is just cover it with cardboard and lots of manure, and see how it goes this year. Maybe get something planted in here. So I'm going to leave the video here because I have some chores that I need to get on with, and sometimes it is much quicker getting on with those jobs when you're not filming, and that definitely has been a thing this year, really. At home, you may have seen that I did a video about my woodland garden and how I was going to create a forest garden up there. Well, we have had the tree surgeons in. They have done their thing with the diseased trees, and now I am left with a lot of work that needs to be done up there. So I think in the next video I will take you up into my woodland garden, show you the areas where the trees have been taken down and what my plans are. Originally I had thought about turning it into kind of like a forest garden, but in terms of just a garden that looked nice with some trees in. But actually the end bit where the oak tree was is a massive space, and it's made me think that actually there is a pretty good allotment size patch of garden up there. So watch your space. But yeah, there you go. I have been so busy, but I hope that I can resume making videos very often because I've got so much to show you. But sometimes I just need to get on and get that work done. Anyway, I'm going on now, so thank you so much for watching. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As ever, YouTube have some videos up now on the screen that I think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those, and I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!